Right now, lift your head and look up. If you're indoors, go to a window and look at the sky. What do you see? Most people see a void, an endless vast ocean of black nothingness stretching on forever. Since childhood, you've been told that the universe is infinite, that it has no wall, no end, no stopping point. This feels intuitive, it sounds right, but it's wrong. Not just slightly wrong, fundamentally and dangerously wrong. This truth should keep you up at night. If the universe were truly infinite and had existed for an infinite amount of time, the night sky would not be dark. It would be white, a blinding white, as bright as the surface of the sun. Every single point in the sky would eventually hit a star, but the sky is dark. That darkness is a clue. It is crime scene evidence telling you that the infinity you believe in is a lie. So if it's not infinite, does it have an edge? If you travel far enough in a spaceship, do you crash into a wall? Do you slam into nothingness? No. The truth is far stranger than a physical wall. In the mathematics of topology, I found something that says our reality is trapped in a shape so bizarre you won't believe it. Let me show you. First, let's break a bad habit. Stop saying asterisk, the universe asterisk. That's laziness. And in physics, laziness leads you to the wrong answer. You need to understand that there are actually two universes. The first is the asterisk global universe, asterisk everything that exists. The second is the asterisk observable universe, asterisk. This distinction isn't just wordplay. These are the walls of your prison cell. Here's the trap. Light has a speed limit. It travels at 300,000 kilometers per second. That's fast. Yes. But on the scale of the cosmos, it's as slow as a snail crossing a continent. Because the universe has a birthday approximately 13.8 billion years ago, light from objects farther away than that distance simply hasn't had time to reach us yet. The light is still on its way. Close your eyes and imagine this. You're standing in the middle of a pitch-black forest. You have a flashlight in your hand. The flashlight only illuminates the 3 meters in front of you. Does the forest end at 3 meters? No. The forest may go on forever, but your asterisk reality ends where the light runs out. That is the observable universe. It is a bubble of information with you at its center right now. But wait, your brain is lying to you about the size of this bubble. The universe is 13.8 billion years old, so you might think the boundary is 13.8 billion light years away. Wrong, because space itself stretches. As light traveled toward you over billions of years, the space it was crossing was expanding like putty. So the boundary is not 13.8 billion, it's actually approximately asterisk 46 billion light years asterisk away. That is the wall, that is the horizon. Everything inside this bubble is the observable universe. We know this part is finite. It has a specific amount of energy, a specific number of atoms, and a specific size. So the real question is, what's outside the bubble? Is there just more forest? Does the forest go on forever, or does it fold back on itself? If you crossed that light boundary and kept walking in a straight line, would you walk forever, or would you eventually hit the back of your own head? Let's recall the game Pac-Man. When you drove Pac-Man to the right edge of the screen, he didn't hit a wall, he didn't stop, he reappeared on the left side. If Pac-Man were a physicist, he would say his universe is infinite. He can go right forever and never hit anything. But is his universe infinite? No. His universe is a finite box. It just has a strange rule. The edges are connected to each other. Physicists call this asterisk topology, asterisk. It is the geometry of reality itself. Most people check out at this point, but don't leave because the real key is right here. You think that for something to be finite, it needs an edge, a cliff to fall off, or a wall that says the end. That is two-dimensional thinking in a three-dimensional world. Think about the Earth. Start walking west. Just keep walking. Will you ever fall off? Will you hit a wall that says edge of Earth? No. You can walk west forever, but the Earth is not infinite. It has a definite surface area. It is asterisk finite but unbounded asterisk. Einstein showed us that space is not a rigid stage, it's a fabric, and fabrics can bend. If the universe has enough mass, gravity curves space. If it curves enough, space can close in on itself, just like the surface of the Earth. So if you got in a rocket ship and flew perfectly straight for billions of years, you wouldn't hit a wall, you wouldn't enter nothingness. Eventually, you'd see a very familiar planet. You'd arrive back where you started, you'd crash into the back of your own ship. This is called a people asterisk positively curved universe asterisk or a people asterisk. It means the universe could be a closed loop, a hall of mirrors, a trap. So how do we tell whether we're in a Pac-Man game or on an infinite flat page? We need to look for asterisk, asterisk ghosts, asterisk, asterisk. Imagine a never-ending corridor. Now erase it. Instead, imagine you're standing in a room where the floor, ceiling, and all four walls are completely covered in mirrors. What do you see? You see infinite rooms and infinite versions of yourself. Looking deep into the reflections, you see a tiny version of yourself thousands of rooms away. But is the room infinite? No. There is only one room. The illusion of infinity is created by light bouncing back and forth. If the universe is finite but folds back on itself like Pac-Man, then light may have had enough time to travel around the universe a few times. This means when we look at a distant galaxy, we might not be seeing a new galaxy at all. We might be seeing asterisk, asterisk, our own galaxy, asterisk, asterisk. Pause and think about that. Light takes time to travel. So if you're seeing your own galaxy's light that has completed a full loop around the universe, you wouldn't see it as it looks now. You'd see it as it looked asterisk, asterisk, billions of years ago, asterisk, asterisk. You'd be looking at a ghost. You'd be looking at the Milky Way in its infancy. Astronomers have actually searched for this. They call it asterisk, asterisk cosmic topology, asterisk, asterisk. They look for repeating patterns in the sky, rings in the cosmic microwave background radiation on opposite sides of the sky that match each other perfectly. If we found those rings, it would be proof that we live in a hall of mirrors. So far, we haven't found them. But this doesn't mean the universe is infinite. It just means the room is bigger than we thought. Now, what if the universe asterisk is asterisk infinite, going on forever in every direction? This sounds liberating, doesn't it? Wrong. An infinite universe is not freedom, it's a nightmare. If the universe is truly infinite, something terrifying happens to the atoms in your body. Let me show you the mathematics that proves you are not unique. Let's play the asterisk, asterisk, copy-paste universe game. Asterisk, asterisk. This is where your intuitions go bankrupt. You think of infinity as just a very large sandbox. But no. Infinity means that asterisk, asterisk, everything physically possible must happen, asterisk, asterisk, not once, but an infinite number of times. Think of a deck of cards. If I shuffle it, there are approximately 8 times 1060 sane possible arrangements. A staggering number, but finite. Now imagine I shuffle that deck an infinite number of times. Eventually, I will deal the exact same hand twice. Eventually, I will have dealt every possible hand. Now look not at cards, but at the universe. The universe is a massive deck of cards. The cards are quantum particles. Every atom in your body, every electron, is essentially a card in a specific arrangement. Your brain state, your memories, your eye color, all of them are patterns of particles. There are only a certain number of ways to arrange particles in a given volume of space. Physicists have calculated that number, something like 10 circumflex 115, an incomprehensibly large figure. Here's the trick. If the universe is infinite, nature has infinite chances to arrange those particles. It's like rolling dice forever. Eventually you'll roll double sixes a billion times in a row. So if you travel approximately 10 circumflex 29 meters away, you will find a region where the particles are arranged exactly like here, exactly like Earth, exactly like you. That person will look like you, speak like you. Remember your childhood. Maybe they'll be wearing a red t-shirt this morning instead of blue. Go even further and you'll find another you, and another, and another. In an infinite universe, there are infinite versions of you, infinite Earths, and infinite histories. If you give a monkey a typewriter in infinite time, eventually it will write Shakespeare. If you give the universe infinite space, eventually it will write you again and again and again. This destroys the idea that you are unique and special. It turns you into a repeating pattern on a never-ending wallpaper. Does that sound like reality or a system error? Most physicists hate this idea. It feels wrong. It feels like a broken calculator. And they have a reason to hate it because woven into the very fabric of reality is a hard limit that says infinity is impossible. A limit so small you can't even see it. You think space is smooth like a slide, don't you? That you can zoom in infinitely close? Wrong. Asterisk, asterisk. Space is not smooth. It is pixelated dot asterisk, asterisk. Zoom in on your hand. Skin, cells, DNA, atoms, protons, quarks. Keep going. Eventually you hit a wall. A fundamental and terrifying wall. The asterisk, asterisk Planck length, asterisk, asterisk, approximately 1.6 times 10 (10^5 5 meters. This is the smallest possible unit of length in our universe. Below this, the physics we know completely breaks down. Think of a video game. Look at Mario. If you zoom in on Mario's face too closely, You see square pixels. You can't go between pixels. There is no half pixel. Our universe also has a pixel size, the Planck length. If space is made of discrete units, pixels, then the universe cannot hold infinite information in a finite volume. This is called the asterisk. Asterisk, Bekenstein bound, asterisk, asterisk. If you try to cram more information into a region than this limit allows, something catastrophic happens. You create a black hole. If the universe were truly infinite in every direction, every single point in space would contain infinite information, and the universe would instantly collapse into a black hole. But it didn't collapse. We're here. We didn't spaghettify. Therefore, the universe cannot have infinite detail. It must be pixelated. And if it's pixelated, this says something profound about the nature of reality. It whispers that the universe is asterisk, asterisk, computable, asterisk, asterisk, like a simulation running on a computer with limited memory, and that infinity is just a lazy mathematical trick we use when we don't know the answer. So if the universe isn't infinite, what is its shape? The data has started to whisper an answer, and that answer looks like an asterisk, asterisk, donut, asterisk, asterisk. Let's talk about the asterisk, asterisk, torus, asterisk, asterisk. This is the most mind-bending theory in modern cosmology. And it's not just idle speculation, it's based on real data. When we look at the cosmic microwave background radiation, the baby photo of the universe, we expect to see a random distribution of hot and cold spots like the static on a television. But in that static, there is a pattern that shouldn't be there. Physicists call it the asterisk, asterisk axis of evil, asterisk, asterisk, because it threatens everything we know about the cosmos. Think of looking at a soccer ball. If you only see a single hexagon, you can't understand the shape. But if you see enough hexagons, you realize they curve and connect. The massive hot and cold spots in the CMB data are aligning in a way that suggests the universe has a closed shape, and the shape that best fits the data is a asterisk, asterisk 3 torus, asterisk, asterisk, a four-dimensional donut. Remember the game Asteroids? When your ship flew off the top of the screen, it reappeared at the bottom. That's a 2 torus. If our three-dimensional universe is a asterisk, asterisk, 3 torus, asterisk, asterisk, it means space is finite but has no edge. Go in any direction, and eventually you return to where you started. But here's the real bombshell. In a 3 torus universe, light can reach you by traveling different paths. Some paths are short, some are long. This means that when you look in one direction, you might see a galaxy as it was 1 billion years ago, while looking in another direction, you see the same galaxy as it was 5 billion years ago. You'd see multiple versions of the same object at different ages, like a distorted, bent hall of mirrors. So if the universe is a donut, what's outside the donut? This is where your brain melts. The answer to what's outside the donut is not nothingness. The answer is asterisk, asterisk. That question is meaningless. Dot, asterisk, asterisk. Let me explain. Imagine you're a two-dimensional stick figure living on the surface of a giant balloon. You can only go forward, backward, left, and right. Someone asks you, what's outside the world? What happens if you jump up? And you ask, up? What does up mean? There is no word for up in your world. Your entire reality consists of the surface of that balloon. There is no outside the surface. The surface itself is the universe. Now take a deep breath. You are a three-dimensional being. But the universe may be a four-dimensional shape, just as that balloon is a three-dimensional shape. When we ask what's outside the universe, we are that stick figure asking what does up mean. There is no outside. The universe contains all space, all time, and all dimensions within itself. It doesn't need to be inside anything else. Think of the Earth's surface again. Does the Earth have an edge? No. Does it have a center on the surface? No. Every point is the same. Is the Earth infinite? No. But it has no boundary. The universe is exactly the same. Asterisk, asterisk finite but unbounded. Asterisk, 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 asterisk. No finite but asterisk, 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 And if the universe is expanding, what is it expanding into? Let's return to the balloon analogy. When you inflate a balloon, the points on its surface move apart from each other. Are the points moving? No. The space between them is stretching. Our universe is doing exactly this, expanding faster than the speed of light. Expanding into what? Into nothing. As it expands, it creates new space. Think of knitting a scarf. You're adding new stitches. The scarf is getting longer, but it's not moving into a pre-existing void, it's creating its own space. This is asterisk inflation theory, asterisk, and it solves a major problem. Why is the universe so smooth everywhere? Why is the temperature the same in every direction? Inflation says that in a tiny fraction of a second right after the Big Bang, the universe expanded far faster than light, ironing out all wrinkles and making everything smooth. And here's the terrifying part, inflation may not have stopped everywhere. Perhaps our universe is a small bubble where inflation came to a halt, a calm patch in the chaotic, boiling ocean of eternal inflation. Outside our bubble, space is still folding and expanding endlessly, creating new bubbles, new universes. But our universe, the universe we can see and measure, is asterisk finite, asterisk. It's a bubble. It has a specific size, a specific age, and a specific end. The reason we think it's infinite is that we can only see a tiny sliver of the curve like an ant on a basketball. The ant thinks the world is flat, but walk far enough and it realizes it's on a sphere. We are ants on a cosmic basketball. But there's one more possibility that makes the very concept of three dimensions meaningless. What if our three-dimensional universe is an illusion? What if we are actually two-dimensional? Let's talk about an asterisk hologram, asterisk. You've seen the holograms on credit cards. It's a flat two-dimensional image, but when you tilt it, it looks three-dimensional. It has depth, but that depth is an illusion. All the information is stored on the two-dimensional surface. Now look at the universe around you. It looks three-dimensional. But what if the universe is a hologram? This is the asterisk holographic principle. Asterisk, and it is not science fiction. It emerged from the study of black holes. When matter falls into a black hole, it seems to disappear. But the information about that matter cannot be destroyed. That is a fundamental law of physics. So where does the information go? It sticks to the surface of the black hole, like stickers on a balloon. The information is stored not in the three-dimensional interior volume, but on the two-dimensional outer surface area. Think of a can of soup. The label on the outside tells you exactly what's inside. You know it's tomato soup without opening it. The two-dimensional surface perfectly describes the three-dimensional contents. Now apply this to the entire universe. The holographic principle says that every star, every galaxy, every thought in your brain in our three-dimensional universe may actually be asterisk encoded on a distant two-dimensional surface, asterisk a cosmic horizon. If this is true, the three-dimensional space we think we inhabit is just a projection, a shadow. And if it's a projection, the infinity of space is just a mathematical trick. The universe is not infinite. It has a specific amount of information, a specific resolution, a specific number of bits. It is finite, bounded by a horizon. A asterisk cosmic hard drive, asterisk, and hard drives fill up. Rhodes drives fill up. Rhodes cosmic hard drive, asterisk. So where does this leave us? Like a smudge on a hologram on the surface of a donut trapped inside a box. This sounds claustrophobic, like a prison. But let's look at it from another angle. If the universe were truly physically infinite, asterisk, you would have no meaning whatsoever. Asterisk. Remember the monkey example. In an infinite universe, there are infinite versions of you, infinite Earths, infinite first kisses. You become just an object, a cheap copy, a rounding error in a never-ending table. But if the universe is finite, if that deck of cards was shuffled only once, then you are asterisk, rare, asterisk. You are not a copy. You are a limited edition masterpiece, a unique, unrepeatable arrangement of atoms in a finite slice of space and time. The darkness of the night sky is not a void. It is the velvet curtain around a jewelry box. It tells you that light is special, because light is scarce. We are rare, we are fragile, and inside this beautiful finite bubble we are all trapped together. So the next time you look up and see the darkness, don't fear that nothingness. Asterisk. Be grateful for the boundary dot, asterisk. because without limits, nothing has shape. Without an ending, no story can exist. Thank you for listening all the way through, my friends. If this video added new knowledge for you, please subscribe to my channel and turn on notifications. See you in the next video.